People in the world walk in insecurity, from day to day, from year to year, from life to life. They do not know when they set foot in insecurity and do not know when they will step out. These words, spoken thousands of years ago, might as well have been written this morning. They capture the silent, shared condition of modern humanity. We are living in a time of unprecedented global complexity. Look around. We are bound by political polarization, economic instability, environmental uncertainty, and the relentless flicker of screens. Streaming 24-hour cycles of crisis. The journey of life has ceased to be a simple walk. It has become a desperate sprint. We feel compelled to achieve, to secure ourselves against invisible forces, and to simply keep up with a world spinning ever faster. We are not merely running from personal failure. We are running from a collective low hum of anxiety. Yet, the destination we chase, lasting peace, genuine stability, true belonging, remains perpetually out of reach. Always just over the next hill. And this brings us to the very first great insight of our shared journey.
The endless wheel, Samsara, and the narrative of lack.
In the Dharmic traditions, this restless striving is known as Samsara. The endless wheel of wandering. While often described as a literal cycle of rebirth, its most immediate relevance is psychological. Samsara is the inner landscape we inhabit when the mind is driven by two powerful currents: craving, grasping for what we want, and aversion, fleeing from what we fear. Look closely at your own life. The turmoil of the world outside often mirrors the turmoil within. The anxiety that rises as we scroll through headlines. The impulse to compare our lives on social media. The exhaustion from pushing ourselves beyond healthy limits. All of this deepens our participation in samsara. In the 21st century, the greatest architect of samsara is what might be called the narrative of lack. That subtle, pervasive belief that I am incomplete, insufficient, or unsafe. unless I acquire, achieve, or avoid X. Consumer culture, it thrives on this belief. It doesn't sell us products. It sells us momentary relief from our inner emptiness. The promise, it's always the same. That the right car, the right title, the perfect, filtered image will finally end the search. But as soon as we grasp it, the mind, it swings to the next desire. The monkey mind never rests. The journey feels endless, not because the destination is far away, but because we keep fueling the very engine that prevents us from resting.
Karma, the architecture of intention.
The Buddha offered a radical alternative to this cycle. He said, "By oneself is evil done. By oneself is one defiled. By oneself is evil left undone. By oneself is one purified." Purity and impurity, they truly depend on oneself. No one can purify another. This is the true meaning of karma. It is not a distant system of cosmic reward or punishment. Karma is the immediate and ongoing quality of your intention. The invisible architecture shaping your inner world. Every conscious act plants a seed in the garden of your experience. When you react to stress with judgment or anger, you plant a seed of suffering. That seed alters your very being. It reshapes your neural pathways, strengthening the patterns of irritation and fear. But when you choose empathy over outrage, patience over reaction, you plant a seed of peace. You literally rewire your mind toward resilience and freedom. The true work of karma is to widen the gap between stimulus and response. That sacred pause between what happens and how we react. A message comes in. A meeting turns difficult. The world flashes another headline of despair. And in that small fraction of a second, before your habitual reaction fires, there lies your freedom. Each time you take a conscious breath before speaking, you remove a stone from your path. Each time you put your phone down to truly listen, you plant a seed of presence. Each act of patience, each quiet kindness, it shortens the long road home. Karma is not destiny, it is design. It is the subtle current of choices that shapes the entire river of your life.
The radical act of stillness.
Our culture mistakes constant motion for progress. We fill our calendars, our inboxes, and our minds with noise. That is why the most revolutionary act we can commit in this age of distraction is to stop. To stop is not to abandon life, but to reclaim it. Stillness is not withdrawal. It is the sacred space where clarity can enter. The key to this pause is mindfulness. Mindfulness is not simply awareness, it is deep seeing. It is the quiet acceptance of what is. The ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without drowning in them. Imagine the mind as an ocean during a storm. The surface is chaos, waves of thought and emotion, crashing endlessly. Most of us, we live on that surface. But if you dive a little deeper, just beneath the turbulence, the water is perfectly still. That stillness is your true nature, your intrinsic awareness. Untouched by the weather of the world. Thich Nhat Hanh called this homecoming. He wrote, "When you walk, just walk. Feel each step kissing the earth. When you breathe, just breathe. Awareness is the miracle that returns you to yourself. When we anchor our attention in the present moment, the restless traveler within finally comes home. The goal of the spiritual path is not to reach a distant perfection, but to realize that we have already arrived in this very breath, in this very step.
Prajna and compassion. The lotus in the mug.
The inner journey has profound outer consequences. We cannot single-handedly solve the crises of our age, but we can change the quality of our engagement with them. Shantideva, the great bodhisattva, once wrote, "Where could I find enough leather to cover the surface of the earth, yet wearing leather on the soles of my shoes is as good as covering the earth itself." We cannot control the world, but we can transform how we walk upon it. Inner stillness is not indifference. It is the foundation for wise and sustainable compassion. When the mind is no longer consumed by fear or fatigue, our actions become clearer, steadier, and more effective. Stillness, it protects us from the burnout that afflicts those who strive to heal the world. And yet, we must also acknowledge our brokenness. Life inevitably leaves cracks. We are all, in some way, cracked vases, carrying the weight of loss, longing, and imperfection. But within those cracks lies the golden possibility of prajna, wisdom. Wisdom is not the absence of pain. It is the ability to see through pain into its hidden teaching. Consider the Japanese art of Kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with lacquer mixed with gold. The piece becomes more beautiful because it was broken. So too, with us, our wounds, our failures, our griefs. These are the mud from which the lotus of understanding blooms. Without the darkness, light has no meaning. The mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, the jewel is in the lotus, reminds us that enlightenment is not elsewhere. It is here, in the middle of our imperfect human lives. When we stop fighting reality, when we pause and breathe into the present moment, the circle of suffering slows and begins to open.
Homecoming.
The Buddha never promised a life without difficulty. He promised a path that leads beyond the bondage of reaction. A path not walked by hurried feet, but by conscious awareness. You are not lost. You are walking through your own shadow. And the moment you choose to stop, to breathe, to see, to simply be, the light will find you. May we all have the courage to pause. May we find the stillness to act with wisdom. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please support the Dakini Sky channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your support means the world to me. I'm Nangsel, and I love you.